Hi, my name is Newell Davis with World Composting, and it's been 48 hours since I added worms to my Urban Worm Bag version 2. And these are European night crawlers, and I want to take a look and see how they're doing. Now, I have opened it up, and they were crawling all over the sides, and I don't think they made it to the lid, but they could have. And I just want to go back in. I want to take a look. I think I need to add more bedding to this bin, and I think we need to add some more moisture. But let's take a look and see how it looks right now after 48 hours. So here we go, we're coming down here to the bin, or bag here. Actually, I'm going to move this a little bit closer. There we go. So again, we've got this dual zipper system. And the only thing I've added here since then, so okay, first off, let's go over this here. I'm not seeing any marks on the actual lid here on this part. No moisture buildup either, so it's about the right moisture level probably, but they didn't crawl up onto the lid. Now, there are some worms on the sides here that you can see, as you can see like right here and over here, but they were all over here. And you can see that there's black marks all over. Actually, let's see if I can zoom in on that a little bit for you here. You can see that there's stuff all over the sides of this bin. It's not like I've been spraying this with anything or put anything on here. That's all from the worms, that stuff. So that's, that's them, they're doing and not mine. So the only thing I've added in here is I added some coffee grounds. They've already sort of dried out a little bit, but this is starting to dry up. It's probably a little bit more moisture in the middle, but this is starting to dry up a little bit. I feel a lot of worms over here in the center section right now, probably where they were. I'm just going to dig in here a little bit. This is where I put all the food. So they're in this area right here with all the food and their original bedding material, which is just slowly sunk into here and into the center section. And that's what they're going after. They're going after where the food is. And this cardboard box is sort of given up now. But the worms are in here, so you can see. Let's just hold these up a little higher here. You can see the worms are in there and they're moving around like quite a bit. And they've found the food. But this is definitely starting to dry up a little bit down in here. This cardboard rips apart pretty easy now because it's got so much moisture in it. But this stuff on top is starting to dry up. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to spray this down. So I got my sprayer here, as I showed in the first video. For those that are curious, this is a like 1.5 gallon Chapin sprayer. And I've never had any chemicals in it. I just use it for water. I'm just going to spray the sides a little bit too, see if we can knock some of these guys off a little bit. And I'm not surprised, by the way, that they were running all over the bag here when I opened it up the other day. I've heard that these worms are notorious for climbing stuff and trying to get out. So that's why I'm really glad that these have this zipper running all the way around. You shut them off, they can't get out. It just makes it a lot easier. I mean, they can try to go underneath. There's lines all along the top of this bin here and stuff like that, but they can't get out. So that's one thing I really like about these bag systems is while there is a lot of airflow, especially through these, fiber parts and everything like that are breathable, it is still a self-contained area that keeps them in here. So I'm not fine now. Let's just dig down here just a little bit more. So there's a lot of their bedding in here. Feels a little warm, actually. Actually, give me a second. I'm going to grab the temperature gun again. So, just for reference here, the wall down here is 64 degrees. And in here, it is, let's see if we can see that here. It's getting a high reading of 70 in some areas. So it's ranging around. I don't know if you can see that with the glare. But it's getting up to 70. So it is warmer in there. So the stuff is kind of breaking down, it's decomposing, and it's actually generating some heat. And the worms are actually, it seems like, gravitating towards that heat, which is where the food was. And again, there's plenty of worms in here. So there's a good shipment that I got in from a Texas worm farm. Not affiliated with them in any way or anything like that. I'm just glad that they did a great job of shipping out some worms. So this looks pretty good, but I'm going to add some more bedding. I've also read online that these worms like a little bit more base material, so I'm going to add, this is a 10-gallon tote that is just filled with shredded papers, cardboard and office paper. So I'm going to add that in here to the top. I'm going to just kind of spread it around a little bit, and I'm going to wet this down again. And I will eventually, probably not yet, but in a few days, I'll shoot a video adding some more food to this. So what I want to try to do, though, is I want to try to keep them in here as much as possible in the center. Hopefully they'll start making some cocoons, and we'll get some more worms in here. And then they'll be able to handle a lot more material, too, which is what I really want out of these worms. I really heard that they have voracious appetites, and I really need that because with summer coming, we go through a lot more fruits and vegetables, and I've actually gotten into a health kick again, and I've been trying to juice, which is, carrot, celery, and apple, and spinach, and stuff like that. So I have a lot of pulp that I throw in these bins that I need to have broken down quickly because I'm going to be doing it the next day as well, or twice a day sometimes. So there we go. Let's see how this is for wetness. Pretty wet on top, not getting down underneath, so I'm going to roll this around a little bit. I'm going to respray in just a second here. So now the top is dry again. Again, I'm going to spray off my hand here a little bit, get the paper off. Anything else that might be on my hand. So, and by the way, I found that this sprayer, by the way, works really well with these bag systems because I had a little squirt bottle before, and they work great for little totes or if you just need a little bit of water. But when you need a lot, I'd have to wet this paper beforehand if I didn't have a sprayer like this. I mean, you just can't spray a whole lot from a spray bottle, and if you dump water in, it just gets concentrated in one area and runs right through. This allows me to really spread out the water that I'm spraying in. So that should be good for now. I'm going to close this back up and come back in a couple days, and we'll probably add another feeding of food here. It was like 8 to 10 cups that I added for the first feeding. It was a lot of water in that too, and I will be doing the same thing. I'm going to grind up all their food. I'm not going to put in whole pieces of food like I normally do to start this bin. I'm going to start putting in ground up food. So you're going to see like liquid. I'm going to dump in a blender full of food in here. So that's my update for 48 hours after they started. Most of them are back in the system and working around. And we'll also try to probably heat this up a little bit because it is cold down here. It's normally about 65 degrees. Sometimes 60, so we're going to have to try to keep it warmer by adding more food to this one, a little, like I do to my other bins as well. But particularly, I got to just kind of monitor it a little bit better while they're starting out. So thank you very much. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.